Hey guys, it's Gwen. I'm in here by myself today, and I'm ready to make me some homemade stuffing for my meatloaf. I'm doing a stuffed meatloaf, and I always make homemade stuffing anyway. So I'm gonna start by making my cornbread, and I'm getting all my ingredients together. Once I get everything together, I'll show you all the ingredients and start preparing the cornbread as well as preparing my ground turkey because I don't use any beef or pork products. I only use turkey, chicken, and mainly vegetables, fish, seafood, things like that. So today, cornbread or cornbread stuffing to make a stuffed meatloaf. Be right back. Alright guys, so I've already put into the bowl my 1 1/3 cups of all-purpose flour. I always use gold medal all-purpose flour. I use 2/3 cups of this iron head stone ground white cornmeal. I use 2/3 cups of sugar, white granulated sugar. I use 1 teaspoon of Clever Girl baking powder. I use a half a teaspoon of salt. The 4 tablespoons of butter is already melted. I used 1 1/4 cup of canned milk, just a little evaporated canned milk. And I've already mixed my dry goods together, whisked them together with this wire whisk, and now I'm currently adding in my wet because I've already beat up my 2 eggs and melted my butter and added my 1/4 cup of oil to this as well. And yes, I am old school. I will use a wire whisk in a heartbeat opposed to going old KitchenAid and all that other stuff. Sometimes it's good to just do it this way. And once this is done, I'll be starting to prep for the meatloaf. But the cornbread is getting ready to go into the oven. And I'll be right back with the meatloaf prep. Okay guys, so this is now the mixture for actually making the stuffing. The cornbread is already in the oven. It'll probably take about another 15-20 minutes or so. But you melt your butter down, you cook your vegetables. My vegetables that I have are celery, onions, and carrots. And of course I have my bouillon cube because we're going to add 1 cup of water to this. Because of course it's 1 cup of water for every cube. And then we're going to mix that into the cornbread once it's cooled and cut up. And I'll show you that process when it's time. But in the meantime, I'm about to saute these here veggies and let them get nice and done. And then I'll show you guys the process that I use for the meatloaf. I've actually already took the liberty of putting my seasonings in a measuring cup. That way all I would have to do is dump it in. And you'll see how I do my stuffed meatloaf. Alright guys, I'll be back. I've added some seasoning to this. I've added some sage and some parsley and some little bit of garlic powder, little seasoned salt, just to give it a little bit more flavor. Not a lot of seasoned salt because of course the chicken bouillon cube will give it that salt as well. And we're just going to cook this down a little bit more before we add our 1 cup of water in. And then, like I said, I'll be showing you guys the process for the meatloaf. later in the week, I'll be doing a baked macaroni and cheese and some kale and collards mixed for you guys. So that'll be possibly next week's video. This week you get two. You get one Tuesday, you get one Thursday. Lucky you. And I truly thank you guys for your support. Okay guys, it's meatloaf time. So like I said, I've already taken the liberty to put my seasonings in the cup. As you can clearly see, I have my parsley, my garlic powder, my seasoned salt, my sage, and my poultry seasoning already in there. A little garlic powder, a little onion powder already in there. I have my 2 large eggs, and I have my Worcestershire sauce, which will be 2 tablespoons because I'm using 2 pounds of ground meat. So just gonna sprinkle this on top. Crack my eggs in. I don't use breading in my meatloaf because it's a meatloaf, not a bread loaf. And again, this is ground turkey. This sounds really yucky, but let's try to thoroughly incorporate everything. Should have been opened this, huh? Instead of teaspoons, I'm just going to do 1 big tablespoon. There we go. Three gloves. You don't none of that meat all up under your fingernails. And I'm kind of a hands-on chick. I don't use spoons unless necessary. Alright guys, be right back. Okay, now time guys to put the meatloaf in the pan. Just simply spray down any pan you got. And just pat it and form it. Don't necessarily have to be perfect, but perfect enough. And put a little dip right here in the middle because that's where your stuffing is going to go. Speaking of stuffing, the cornbread is just about ready to come out the oven too. guys. I'll be right back. Alright guys, so here we go. Just finished product of the cornbread. It looks pretty good, smells pretty good. With this process, you simply break up the cornbread. It really smells delicious. My husband loves my cornbread, so I'm sure he can't wait for this to get done. Ooh, it's a little hot. You signed on seller. Yes. Alright guys, time to add the veggie and broth to the stuffing. Just pour it in and then we're going to mix it. It smells so good, guys. And once we mix it, we're gonna stuff some of this, not so much as stuff, but put some of it in the midst of the meatloaf. Getting this all nicely incorporated and stuff. It smells really, really good.
I found all types of stuff down there. I didn't know I had that many. Oh, you laughing?
Yes, I am.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Alright guys, I'll be right back. And we'll be adding some of the stuffing to the meatloaf. Charles. Okay guys, I'm getting ready to stuff this meatloaf. I done mixed everything in real good. I'm just going to simply put some right on in the middle. It's just simple as that. Just that easy. Put some right on in the middle of it, just like that. And once I get it in, then I'll really be able to mold it around the stuffing like I want to, but let me get this in there first. And of course my husband's trying to get my stuffing because he really likes my homemade stuffing because he likes the flavor of it. It's really good too, guys. It's simple, it's easy, it doesn't take a whole lot, and it's really delicious. And since you done sprayed your pan, all you gotta do is cover it really, really tight. Now be mindful, the difference between ground turkey and ground beef is that turkey don't have all that fattiness in it. So you will have to add just a tiny bit of water at the bottom. Just a tiny bit, not a lot, just a tiny bit, just to cover the bottom and surround it so that your meatloaf won't burn. And make sure that you cover your pan extremely tightly. Alright guys, this is how it looks right here. Let me slide this over so that you guys can see. This is how it looks. Once you put it in there, mold it around, we're going to add this in the oven. And don't forget, if you're using ground turkey, just enough water to cover the bottom, just the bottom. Alright guys, this is the finished product. Stuffed meatloaf, homemade cornbread stuffing, fresh ground turkey, whipped it up. All the ingredients will be in the description box. Thank you so much.